Alright, we're back. And it's time to solve this sucker. I think you're on to the Buddha thief. Can you select the 4 most important clues to lead us to the right suspect? Sure, Jennifer. Uh, the question is, do we go with Mrs. Polaria or do we go with Madame Wen? Because if you remember, let's see, I just want to see what Alia hang on. Alia Panda, where are you? That the fibers were picked less than a month ago. So someone was in India a month ago. Alright. Mrs. Boran was in Indonesia, which is not India, so we can cut her out. He was in India. He travelled all over Europe and then was in India, and then he was in Tibet. But if you remember, this guy said that, you know... Does it say it again? That he actually said that he thought that it would have passed through India on its way. Alright, no. No? Alright. Alright. Who is more likely to have stolen this? Madame Wen? Where is she? Madame Wen went to Tibet 3 weeks ago, and then she went to India. Miles went to Europe, then to India, and then went to Tibet, and then he went to Thailand, and then to the USA. And, where is she? No, forget about Mrs. Boran. No way she did it. Mrs. Polaria says she was in India 6 weeks ago. Okay, she's out because, she was there she was over a month ago. I would say that we're going to put this on Madame Wen. So 1. 2, because May wasn't with her at the time that it was stolen. This one. And lastly, where's the one about... Come on. Here we go. Carry bags and suitcases. Those are the clues we'll want the police to see. Now choose the person you think stole the International Idol. Hey, Madame Wen, you crazy bitch. Yes! Madame Wen stole the Buddha and smuggled it into the United States, and you can prove it. Let's check the evidence. We learned from Chuck that only 6 people could have placed the box into Mrs. Polaria's suite. Melinda Juice, Chutney Miles, Mrs. Boran, Madame Wen, her daughter May, or Mrs. Polaria herself. Neither Melinda Juice nor May Wen were in Tibet when the Buddha was stolen. That clears them. Mrs. Polaria said that she watched Chutney Miles every moment that he was in the suite. He could not have hidden the box under the sofa. Detective Bandar discovered that the fibers used as packing materials were recently picked in India. That cleared Mrs. Boran. Her passport showed that she had not been to India. And Mrs. Polaria was there too long ago for the fibers to be so fresh. We had 6 suspects, and 5 of them had been cleared. Only 1 suspect remains, Madame Wen. She smuggled the Buddha into the country and hid it under the sofa. Now, Jack, do you still have your stutter from last time? Hey, look at this. Resulka's getting as famous as Egypt and Tibet as we are in Ridgeview. Really? Yeah. Detective Bander was really impressed with how Resulka eliminated every suspect except Madame Wen. That helped crack the case. Yeah. Resulka's deductions helped the police prove she was guilty. What? I'm not guilty! This is a classic case for the Eagle Eye Detective Agency. Check out the article. How do woodchucks chuck? Oh, you're stooping too low, man. Stooping way too low. Ridgeview Courier. Young detective cracks international smuggling case. Egyptian detective Bandar today praised Resulka of the Eagle Eye Detection Agency, just knocked something over, for exposing an international art smuggler. Resulka put the clues together and proved that Madame Wen stole the priceless statue. When we confronted Wen with the evidence Resulka collected, she gave a full confession. I gave a full confession. Fantastic. After the arrest, the police searched Madame Wen's luggage and found many other stolen art treasures that will now be returned to their rightful owners. Federal prosecutors expect Wen to serve several years in prison for her crimes. Chief Barnes announced that a formal dinner and award presentation will be held in Resulka's honor. Gushed Barnes, that should be at the end, I think. I'm going to read that in that order anyway. Thanks to Resulka, Tibetan monks will have gotten their Buddha back. Get your Buddha back to Richview, and Richview will be famous for foiling the thieves, gushed Barnes. That's better. Get your Buddha back, get your Buddha back. I know I'm a nerd. What's the next case? The runaround reptile. How many got? We've still got lots of things. This is probably going to be my longest series. Please kill me. Alright. Yes, a lovely black scene. Phone? Oh, Nancy. Hey, Nancy. Jennifer? Resulka? Have you seen Watson? I couldn't find him anywhere. Come to think of it, Nancy, I haven't seen him all day. If he's not with you, I don't know where he is. You don't think he could have run away, do you? Or maybe he's been lizard-napped. Don't worry. Resulka and I will find him. Let's start investigating. Oh, so we don't actually know where he is this time. Interesting. Let's check out the eagle's nest. Wait, how did Nancy know that the lizard was missing? I mean, the lizard would have been up here. We would have asked her instead of the other way around. Watson, our pet iguana, isn't in his tank. He must have crawled out the window and down the tree sometime last night. Says you. Hey, Nancy. I'm sorry, Jennifer. I'm sure I didn't leave that window open. It was cold out last night, so I shut it before I left. Let's check the box. Watson is not in his tank. Oh, no! The tank contains a warming rock and a bowl of water. The warming rock is electric. It gives off a little heat to warm Watson's tank. Alright. The tree house looks like it was forced open. Fantastic. A bit of blue thread is snagged on the nail outside the window. Great. Fantastic. Let's see Mrs. Beninsky, who no doubt decided she wanted to steal our iguana because he's so fabulous. Oh, she's standing in her yard. How nice. Maybe Mrs. Menensky has seen Watson. Her house is right next to our treehouse. No, I didn't see that nasty creature come through my yard. I'm sure that Fluffy and Puffy would have chased him away. Oh, that goes the alarm. Another minute and a half before it should go off. Fantastic. I really should not use this thing. Mrs. Menensky is wearing a pink blazer and high-heeled shoes. How that is relevant, we will never know. Mrs. Menensky's backyard is filled with beautiful flowers. Some of the flowers beneath the eagle-eyed treehouse have been trampled. There is a sneaker print in the flower bed. Mrs. Menensky's garage door is open. Everything is neatly put away except her ladder. The ladder is leaning up against the wall too close to the car. The rungs are dirty and the base is covered in mud. How is that too close to the car? I mean, like, what would you consider too close to the car? I would consider if it was leaning against the car, too close to the car. But, you know, if it was just kind of near it, I would just call it close to the car. I wouldn't call it too close to the car. Hey, let's ask the creepy old man, who's just kind of standing there with a weird bulge in his pocket. At least I hope that's his pocket. Creepy Critters isn't very busy. Watson doesn't seem to be here, but maybe Mr. Grimaldi can help us. Mr. Grimaldi! Sorry, kids, but no one's brought in a stray iguana. I get the iguanas that I sell here from a reptile distributor. Iguanas come from the hot rainforest here in Central and South America. The climate here would be too cool for him. When you have a pet that is not native to your area, you must take special care to see that they don't escape. Thank you. The back room is filled with bags of animal food and boxes of supplies. Watson isn't there. Surprise, surprise. But we will no doubt find him in the next issue of Eagle's Mysteries. So, see you guys soon. Bye-bye.